Heroic Hunter is inspiring his community and his family to keep going. The Floydada 6-year-old is battling leukemia for the second time while his family juggles caring for him, work, and paying the bills.
It's a balancing act many families can relate to. KCBD News Channel 11's Brittany Michelson tells us how they hope Hunter's story will bring a change.
You know, there's nothing worse as a parent than watching your child suffer.
6-year-old Hunter Wells was originally diagnosed with leukemia 2 weeks after his 4th birthday. He did chemo, had a bone marrow transplant, and rang the bell.
We never prepared for him to relapse because after the first year, we were like, oh, he's made it a year. We're confident, we're happy.
His mom, Kayla Wells, says she's grateful for that session of peace. Hunter got to play baseball and go on his wish trip to Disney World. After he relapsed in October, their life has gone back to hospital walls and road trips from Floydada to Cook Children's Hospital in Fort Worth, plus caring for Hunter's twin sister, Ella.
So we do a week at a time. My husband is at the hospital with him now, taking wonderful care of him, and we switch on the weekends, and we'll do that until the end of April.
Kayla is a school counselor, her husband Robert a small business owner, and the bills continue to pile up.
I'm pretty stoic when I'm here. You know, like I said, I'm very outgoing, I'm very happy and positive. But admittedly, some of that is a front. You know, it's hard to come here and the bell rings and I'm used to seeing his little blonde head run around the corner to come give me a hug, and I don't get that right now. Someday I will, but just not now.
Kayla says their struggle is all too common, but more should be done about it. The National Pediatric Cancer Foundation reports only 4% of federal funds for cancer research goes to kids. She's grateful for how their community has stood behind them with fundraisers, but she says even more lives can be changed if people donate to organizations that fund pediatric cancer research.
But whenever you're giving back to these larger organizations, they have a little more pull in their ability to help.
Kayla says there have been cases where children who've had a second transplant like Hunter have been cured. Through it all, she says Hunter's been her little hero, inspiring his parents to keep going.
He's kind of been, I just want to go home, I'm going to get out of here. What he says is, I'm going to get rid of this bug. That's what he calls his cancer, is the bug. I'm going to squash this bug.
Brittany Michelson, KCBD News Channel 11.